Alright guys, so I got Mr. Jeremy Montijo here tonight. He's again just finished up training. He's getting ready for the US Muay Thai Open Regionals in Phoenix, Arizona. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, we talked to you about your last competition stuff a little bit here on the podcast. What are you kind of focusing on right now?
I'm just trying to focus on my striking more. I feel like it's a good transition for me since I've been wrestling since I was younger.
Yeah.
Back in the day, yeah. Okay. So just strictly focusing on striking.
So you're doing the tournament that's coming up at the regionals. You did it last year, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you were doing the C class?
Yeah.
Yeah, C class. So with the C class, that's there's no elbows, right?
Yeah, no elbows.
And this year we're doing B class.
B class.
B class this year, right? And last year I didn't get to go with you. It was like a last minute thing. I remember I was like at the aquarium or something like that.
Yeah, I just went with my friends just last minute.
Yeah.
Like signed up the week of.
Yeah, you went. So you won the first round of the tournament and then you lost the second, right? Yes, on points.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, cool. I'm really stoked to see how that comes together for you. We have, a lot of people that are competing this year. I got Chris Owens can be competing. Like I have you competing. I have a whole list here. I have Wolf Brandt. It's one of the kids. You trained with him a little bit.
Big boy, 13 years old.
Oh, that's wild.
Oh, that's wild.
That's big brother.
Either one of them. Yeah. Oh, Wolf is the little one.
Wolf's the little one.
I mean, he's still a big boy for
his
6-year-old.
Yeah, he's 8 or 9, I think. So, yeah, he's going to grow real fast, too. We also got Michael Ruiz, also one of our teens. He's going to be coming in there. He's at a few in-gym training events and PKBs. He's also doing B class as well for the 12 to 13-year-old group. He's only 12.
Is it head checked?
But I don't think that's head contact for that one.
Is it age or class?
It depends on age. So the next one is Daniel Rosales, which he's the one who's hitting pads outside of the room right now. He's going to be competing. Got Mr. Christian Boomin, who went with us to Thailand earlier this year. Oh! So, Jeremy was with us at the Thailand training camp we had earlier this year as well. We also got Mr. Scott Logan, who he went to Thailand on his own last year, I think. He only went there for like a week, but he trained at the Kids Come Touring for a little bit. We also got Aiden. Coach Aiden's going to be competing our kids. Yeah, you can go ahead, man. What do you get? Is that candy?
Yes,
you got candy? This guy with his
yeah.
candy. Skittles. We got Carolina, my girlfriend. She's going to be competing as well. She'll be there for the regionals. So I think it's like 10 or 11 people that are competing in total. Man, it's pretty good. How have you been liking the team training?
It's been good.
Yeah?
A lot of different looks.
Yeah.
Different types, yeah.
It's a different style of training. What do you think has been like the most beneficial for that? Compared to like when you went to the tournament blind last year?
More being aware of what's going to happen in like stylistically with them. Trying to focus on.
For like Muay Thai?
Yeah.
And, like,
last year I went in never competing, never been seen Muay Thai tournament at all.
Yeah. It could be definitely like stepping into the deep waters there. So with the competition training and stuff too, I've been having all you guys train together, which I think has been awesome. I had the kids, had the teens, adults, everybody train together, everybody working with each other. Because like at the tournament, I can't corner you guys.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I think it's I got Todd, Ryan. I'm trying to get a few of the other guys out there too to go help out with the corner. But the main thing is like that's why I'm having everybody work with everybody. So.
It's been nice working with Ryan.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, because then he just
definitely get his input too. Yeah, he looks at things a lot different.
I forgot to mention it to you. I'll mention it to you now that Coach Ryan came up. I mentioned to him that you were looking for some like MMA training because he's trained a couple of MMA fighters before, and he said he'd be happy to work with you and stuff too. If like he comes down like Saturday or something like that. But we'll connect on that another time. But I wanted to mention that to you because he's well versed with like MMA stuff. I think the first people he trained were like MMA guys. So yeah, definitely. But he's familiar with some of the different transitions. He's also becoming very familiar with our style because he's teaching it. So, you know, one of the things too, we are doing a fundraiser for the team. Did you see the flyer for that?
I did.
Yeah, we have them at the front desk.
Yeah, I need to get one.
Yeah, we have a few of them. So on November 23rd, it's the same day as our one-day sale that we're doing. We do like annual one-day sale, one day only. We do sales on programs, tuitions. We're doing equipment packages this year and everything like that too. Really cool stuff. Best deal of the year that you're gonna get. Along with that, we're doing the team fundraiser. So we're doing a bunch of raffles. Like that raffle that we're giving away like 20% tuition discount for a raffle. We're doing a 50-50 raffle, where it's like if you get pool money, half of it goes to the winner, half goes to the competition team. We also got like some equipment and stuff like that. That's all set up in there too. So one of the reasons we're doing that too, just for everybody that's listening out there, is careful with that. Basically, all the competitors are coming out of pocket. It's around $600+ per person in order to be able to compete. Because you think about travel, like are you flying or driving there?
I think I'm flying.
Flying out there, so
Yeah.
flights, hotel stay, food, time off work.
Even just the food, the whole training camp.
Yeah, like you have to be like on.
Yeah, cost.
That's like something. It's good for you to figure that stuff out now. What that costs, like 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. One of the other things too is like you know, one-on-one training. You know, like one-on-one time with the coaches and stuff like that as well. Because it's just allowing you to get work in, like I said, with all those people that are going to be there to support you. It's all important for them to have like something they can pull out of you when it comes time for the tournament too.
Yeah, just knowing you.
And knowing like how you move and how you respond. So, and you get used to hearing your voice.
Makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. So we have that. It's on November 23rd. It's going to be from about 9 a.m. Not about 9.
2 weeks.
From 9 a.m. Yeah, 2 weeks. About 2 weeks. I think a week and a half.
Alright, tomorrow's Friday. Wow.
Yeah, tomorrow's Friday. It's crazy. So basically a week, a week. Yeah, November 23rd. It's from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. I'm gonna be around in the morning, but then I have to drive down to Carlsbad to go corner my brother.
Oh yeah,
He's competing next week. Yeah.
He has to go weigh in the day before, huh? He's going by himself.
Yeah, he's weighing in the day before and everything too. So I'll be down there with him. We also have my friend Kru Jonathan. I'm actually cornering one of his competitors. Is out here from Hawaii. She's gonna be competing. I guess it's her first time too, and I get the pleasure of cornering her.
She flew out here for it?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know what the deal is. Might be military or something. She has a lot of military people in there too. But I think that'll be
Get that free flight, yeah.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, that she'd be able to go travel out here and everything. I didn't think about that. Do they get free flights?
Yep.
Oh, and that's score.
And family too, yeah.
I've heard about the family, but I didn't know it's only
it's
limited.
like through the base, and then you have to like go on a waiting list and like.
There's a waiting list for it, but it's free.
Yeah, and if you get in, you get on.
That's pretty sick. That's a added benefit of the military. Like that goes without saying that, you know, hopefully this can help mitigate some of those costs for you guys, you know, because that'll kind of go back and spread out through everybody for the competition team. Because not only that, we also have medicals. You have to get blood work for this. You have to get, you know, physical, all that stuff set up for it.
Fortune.
Yeah.
I already got mine
When?
a couple months ago for the title fight.
Uh-huh. Oh, you did. So
Yeah.
if you had the blood work, you just have them fill out. You
Same
just have to just send it to your doctor.
Just within the year, yeah.
Yeah, and they should be able to just fill out the paperwork for you. Yeah, you should be able to do that, no problem. And just make sure you have a copy dated. Make sure your doctor fills it out, and not like the MD or
Yeah,
like.
that's what happened last year.
Yeah, you need an MD.
That
Sorry,
one.
not a DA.
And last year I went over there and I turned it in and they didn't even care. They didn't
Really?
even look at it, yeah.
Yeah, well, I hope that they, you know, they're starting to go through it. It was new last year, but now it's been a year, and it's not new anymore. So they're probably gonna be more strict on it.
More
now.
organized.
So now they're used to seeing it. And that kind of goes with the tournament. You know, you told me last year, you're like, oh, dude, we wore a chest guard. And I was kind of surprised. I'm like, why did that happen? You guys wear chest guards? But then I realized it's because it's the regionals. So the way regionals work is it's 1 day tournament, right? Yeah, 1 day tournament. Normally,
1 day this year?
yeah, it's 1 day this year too. I thought for a second it was gonna be 2 because they booked me to referee for 2 days. And he's like, oh wait, my mistake. You only have to referee 1 day, but you have to be there for weigh-in.
Yeah, it was quick.
Yeah.
Last year it was super quick.
So, when you told me about the chest guard, I kind of looked at I read out the rules. And it's funny, on the US Muay Thai Open website, it says read the rules, win more fights. Because I see so many people training right now, and no one knows about the chest guard. I'm like, you know you have to wear a chest guard. They're like, wait, what? Because at the national tournament that they have in April, you don't have to wear one. but it's because that's spread over a couple of days. With the regionals, it's a 1-day tournament.
Oh,
So I think
take
it's
less damage.
I think it's to take less damage. I'm pretty sure,
It's not gonna do
which
anything.
makes sense.
It does make sense.
Yeah, it makes sense to make sure you guys have like exciting final fights and everything too, and to be able to like mitigate damage and be able to go compete in a couple weeks.
And just with your breathing a little bit.
Yeah, man. Having that big chest guard on, man, I can imagine. And like, you know, we have the kids that are competing. Some of them are no head contact, but they're in the ring and everything too, and like round times are a little bit shorter for them. They're one of the cool things about Arizona is they allow the 12-6 elbow.
That's interesting.
Yeah, you can throw elbows full. Yeah.
Jumping elbow.
Exactly. You can, man. You can do it.
Over the top.
Yeah,
Pull down the guard. Yeah.
That's one of those things that I'm really grateful that like Kru Jonathan was always like teaching that stuff to us, because like everywhere else is like, oh, it's illegal, why teach it? It's okay, it's self-defense. But like if you go to Thailand, or if you go to like I think Australia, you're allowed to do it too, in China. So it's one of those things you always want to be prepared for it. And for you, you know, you're wanting to fight professionally.
Yes.
You're gonna end up in some of those situations.
Course, yeah.
So you want to be ready for everything. So that's why we teach that too. And that kind of goes in the difference, like the regionals and the nationals. National championships also in Arizona. They just don't wear the chest guards, same round times, but it's spread over like 3 days.
3 day, bigger, a lot bigger brackets.
Yeah, they get people from Mexico, you get people from
brackets.
Canada and stuff too. Yeah, well, Christian Boomin, man, his bracket has 10 people in it.
Wow, dude, he's gonna be a big 70-pounder.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to see how he does.
Even Chris can be a big 55-pounder.
Mm-hmm. So they're all looking really good, and I think they're setting into the correct weight classes too. And you know, with this too, you think about it like, hey, you go out there and they're C class, so it's first time, just get experience, win or lose. And one of the things that they're doing too, I know you saw the ranking system that they're implementing.
Did not. Haven't even looked.
Well, you saw where you registered.
Yeah, I didn't even.
I
didn't even look there. Anything.
So that's through the USMF is the R Sports website. So they do the live scoring all through that website. So live scoring you see at the tournament. That's one of the things they do too, is they do live scoring.
See, that's another thing. Last year, I didn't learn until after my fight was over that there was live scoring.
Yeah, it's not, you know that. So we're gonna make sure we have somebody in the audience telling you.
And we thought I won, so like, yeah.
Yeah, that's confusing.
Yeah, we thought we were winning.
And then the guy's like, yeah. You're like, wait, what does he know that I don't? I can see that being pretty funny. You know, it happens. And one of the things too to keep in mind for anybody listening out there is that ranking system, the R Sports, is supposed to be set for 5 judges.
So it's for 50 point?
Yeah, well, you want to think of it, it's like the way it's set up for how it calculates, like sometimes it'll round down, and it'll show the wrong winner of a round. Sometimes. So, and what'll happen is they won't declare a winner, they'll go through and they'll show the scorecards to the chairman, and they declare the winner. So if that happens, that's what's going on. They're not trying to shyster around, it's the software. I'm not sure if they fixed it, but it happened at the Muay Thai Open in New York, where we went out there with Joanna. I think it was November 2018. Yeah, 2018.
Last year?
Or 2017. So 2017. No, it wasn't last year. It was 2017. Damn, I went by fast. With that, though, they're doing all the live scoring on there. I think they're going to stream the competition, too. Usually they stream it. And anybody can keep up to the live scoring on there. On the website.
They did adults in the beginning last year. Yeah. And the kids in the afternoon.
Oh, okay. So that'll be interesting to see how they do it this year too. I'm sure they learn.
I think bigger brackets in the morning.
Just get it out of the way, and then have the finals after the kids. Oh man, yeah, Christian is gonna be huge.
170. Like I don't get how he's like even. He just shredded.
And you've seen how he eats.
He just.
So like, yeah, he just eats. Yeah, I mean, he's got a crazy metabolism. It's like me.
I wish I could be like.
Well, you know, different bodies, and you know, he's not trying to be a pro fighter.
Yeah.
So it's got to deal with the cards you got dealt, all right?
Except for candy. Healing from that. I think that's my biggest problem.
Yeah, man, you gotta cut that stuff. It's no more German, no mas. But on that ranking system, they should just put like Lex Candy.
Lex Candy.
You just put it out there on the internet, man.
Extra 5 pounds.
Oh, dude, yeah, get rid of it.
1 gram heavy.
But with the R Sports, the USMF stuff, they're actually like add you to my team roster. They have it really cool how it's set up. You can go on and see each club that's registered with USMF, and you can see who all their competitors are.
Oh, nice.
And you can see their records. So they're trying to make like a global database doing that. And it's good. Like they're doing the background screen through NCIS, which they have for wrestling. I don't know if you've heard about it before.
It's probably the same thing as USA Wrestling. There's like
they do
national rankings and everything. Like all the tournaments come off the same thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then they're doing the background check for coaches too.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So I think that's really
better. That's a lot.
Yeah, because we want
to,
no chest and molesters
or those
in Muay Thai.
jiu-jitsu people, all the molesters in jiu-jitsu.
Dude,
that
stuff is crazy that this stuff even happened, man. It happens everywhere, but the thing is, it happened in Muay Thai too over in the UK.
I feel like it's more their culture.
For like,
it's over there. They're used to being able to get with the younger girl.
Who's they?
Like Brazilians. Well, I'm just speaking.
Is that true though?
Well, that's what my coach is telling me over there. He just said it's more normalized.
I'll have to look into that because I don't know much about Brazilian culture, but I'm just gonna say it happens in all martial arts though. That's the thing, and the thing is like karate doesn't have like a national like ranking thing because it's not like in the Olympics. For this now they're using the NCIS to do background checks. I had to put everything there where I lived the past 5 years, my employers. I had to put my tax returns in there, like everything. It was pretty thorough, and
You get fingerprinted and stuff?
they didn't do a fingerprint. I'm sure that's like full background, Social Security, everything like that. So it's really important, I think, for people to just have a base background check when you're going through.
It's like working at a school.
Yeah, it is, because you think about like when you're going through an academy, like we call it Muay Thai Academy, and we're doing like leadership, things like that. And I'm making it like a requirement for everybody to do it because it's important. Like I trust everybody on our team, but also just for peace of mind for our parents and like our communities and stuff too, because that stuff could come back like 10, 15 years later. You're hearing people like, oh, this gymnastics coach like touched me funny.
Yeah, that doctor.
Yeah, it was a doctor that was doing it for the gymnast team, right?
Like the super high, like the USA team, no?
Yeah.
Not?
I think it was the USA team. Yeah, it turned out like everybody that was doing their physicals, he's like the traveling doctor, I think.
Yeah.
He would like quote unquote check them, and it was like just known that it's like he's touching kids, and everybody just had to be okay with it. Like everybody was kind of in on it. It's just it's disgusting, man. So with like all these Muay Thai tournaments that are going around, some of them they're taking kids over to like Turkey. They were in like Europe. Yeah, so. It's very important that these people have these background checks.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you think about it, it's the same thing with wrestling.
Yeah.
Same thing with wrestling and stuff too.
That's good for any sport.
Yeah. To have that level of like integrity to show with it, I think is really important. Hopefully, I'm sure jiu-jitsu is coming up with that too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because they're trying to make it more and more formed to like an Olympic sport.
Definitely
also.
looks worse on them than what people do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's like, hey, well, where's the standard for it? It's like, oh. There isn't one, but correct me if I'm wrong. If there is one, I'll definitely add it in the show notes. I'm gonna look into that a little bit because I think that's something that's really important, just for youth sports in general. It's like
get the background check.
It's like the same thing they require here in California that we do. It's called the heads-up concussion training. I talked about with Coach Ryan on the podcast, but for concussion awareness.
See, that's good. They did that. Started in football. Like when I was a kid, that's when they started it.
Started the heads up stuff.
Yeah.
So we have to do that. It's state mandated. I don't know if they're enforcing it.
For like a competition or just
in general, just for clubs. Yeah, just for like any like martial arts school, martial arts academy. It's supposed to be required.
It's like that little test you do, and then they test your speed for it. And then
to see like it's for
bring it back through. And
yeah, they basically go through to see like that we're aware of when somebody could potentially be concussed and what the procedures are from there. Like 90% of the time is see athletic trainer, see a doctor.
I thought you meant like they have this test that they give the players like when they play football. We have like a little test that we did. Yeah.
Oh.
And then like before, so like in case we did get concussion, they'd come back and like run us through the same test, and then if it was slower, like some things were off.
Yes. So actually, I have some of that stuff back here actually in the back room, where they're actually doing it for high school football players.
Mm-hmm.
What they're doing is they're saying it's part of their physical. They don't want them to know it's part of the concussion stuff.
Oh.
And then they have them do it again later. It's part of research study.
Oh.
Yeah, and they did that because the thing is, if like me and you, we go compete, we never get our heads checked as an amateur, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And then you go pro, and then that's when you get your initial MRI of your brain. And they're like, well, there's some black spots, but you're fine. But it's like, okay, well, how much damage started from when I began until now? You don't. It'd be interesting. It would be like, I want to know what it is. I want to know what it is for you. Because then it's like, hey, hey, Jeremy, you might want to look at calling retirement. Yeah. You know, you want to see about what's is it worth it? Is it keep going or because there's no measurement when that stuff I heard Joe Rogan say is it's like water in a bucket. Like, everybody's got a different size bucket. You don't know how much is getting tipped out every time you get rocked.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think it's important going into combat sports, but it's just like any other sport too. Like I always like to rebuttal on this kind of stuff. A lot of people get freaked out. Like, oh man, and, Muay Thai is a very safe sport because you think about the head's only 10% of the target.
Yeah.
Because
actually landing, yeah.
Yeah, because you think about your head, so you can hit the whole body. You can get cut. You can
Especially Muay Thai, yeah, I feel like it's mostly body kicks.
Body kicks, leg kicks, knees. Elbows are meant for cutting, but when you have the elbow pad, it's not much cut. It's just to show you can have it when you're doing amateur style stuff. But I think it's something that's to be aware of.
The percentage to land on the head is so small for most people. It's just...
Well, and that's why they're doing the kid stuff with the no head contact. Yeah. Let them grow up a little bit more, build the confidence there. Kru Rivera, they started the youth development program, youth development league. Their goal is to have these kids with 50, 60, these YDL matches by the time they're 14, 15.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, that way they have all this ring experience and no head contact yet, but they've been doing it in Europe and they've in Australia, and they've created some excellent Thai boxers. Excellent. Some of the top people are out there. This girl, Alma Uniku from Australia, I've been watching her. She's been on ONE FC. She fought Stanford attacks, everything like that too.
She younger than?
18 years old.
18? Wow.
18. She won the WBC Muay Thai World Champion title at 18. And her first head contact fight, I think, was at 16 or 17.
It is, yeah.
So it's just they had so much experience, So I think having that just allows people to get that. They
Overall
get that
body awareness.
And they learn how to timing. That's something that's really big. We've been working on that a lot with you. Timing for teeps, body kicks, knees, how to score, and how to cause damage with your strike.
Set up your traps better, and just because harder to land when you.
Yeah, and then because the thing is, sometimes even though it's coming, if some people they can't prevent it from coming, right? So that kind of goes into what I want to talk about next year. I'm gonna freeze it. I kind of want to go into this is kind of stuff for you, Jeremy. I want to talk about. It's a one-day tournament. What do you think about mental prep for competition? What's your thoughts on that?
I think it's very important. Visualization over anything. I feel like that's helped me in past competitions just because.
When you say visualization, what do you mean?
Visualize everything you're gonna go through, just repetition, so nothing's a surprise when you're in there, and just envision yourself winning. I don't know how to explain it. It's hard.
Yeah. Well, I know me and you, when we're working one-on-one, we work a lot of mental prep, right? Because we talk about it. It's hey, remember this moment right now. If you're doing something really well on the pads, or in sparring, clinch, I'm hey, I want you to remember this right now, this mental anchor. And we talk about it, and then in the warm-up room, we talk about it again.
Yep. And
you're oh yeah, I know what I'm doing. I see you kind of calm down. Would you say that that kind of training, you think that's been integral for your MMA stuff?
Yes and no. Yes, I try to do it more myself. Every night, I try to think of just my different situations, just keep on putting myself through, see what's working for me, and then I guess even my 2 fights ago in MMA, I was just drilling the same thing over and over, and then right when it happened, I landed my takedown. I slipped under the hook, landed the takedown, and it works. I feel like everything does come together well if you do prep.
You prep for it. And then you trust in your training too. I think that's key for a lot of people. And that took me a long time to get through. I had one of my coaches, my first one, and he saw it. He's hey man, he asked me, he's all, you want to be here? I'm like, heck yeah, I want to be here. What do you mean? He's like, well, you look like you don't want to be here right now. I'm like, oh. And I just like settled and everything. I'm like, yeah, I want to be here. I mean, I trained my butt off for this. And that's why I kind of parrot those same words for you guys. I'm like, hey, man, like, you've been on this planet for 22 years. You know, some people, they're 30 and this is their first time. Like, you've been on the planet for 30 years. You've never done this. Of course, your mind's telling you, like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this?
Especially the whole aspect of being alone out there for the first time for the new people. Just even the first couple times, it's nerve-wracking.
Do you think wrestling and, like, going through, like, the whole CIF stuff, like, helped you out big time, like, competition-wise?
I definitely think so. Just learning how to not rely on anyone else and just going out there and just setting your mind to do something and you're just going to go do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just, back to the whole mindset training. I feel like that's just played a huge factor in everything. If I didn't have that, I feel like I'd be a lot more nervous going into fights, going and just being scared. I mean, I still get nervous, obviously.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not
normal.
going to change,
You always had, but you have a different way of dealing with how to deal with those nerves now because you have that experience, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you know it's going to go away right when it starts, like right when you go in there, when that bell rings, nothing else matters, and it's just you and them. The room around you doesn't matter.
Mm.
That spotlight doesn't matter. It's just you go out there and fight.
Yeah, and it's just at that point, it's all about how you trained. And do you ever hear me when I'm in the corner?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
You hear like little glimpses?
Yeah.
Or like any other coaches or anything like that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing. When I was working with my past coaches, this is just strictly wrestling. I was so used to their voices, I could just pick them out in any room, no matter what
you
the
hear
situation.
It. Yeah, you heard it.
Exactly.
Well,
but I'm getting more used to hearing your voice.
And hearing some of the other coaches and stuff too. And that's something that comes with time. Like, how long were you working with your wrestling coaches?
Yeah, 8, 9.
Yeah, you could hear them. Yeah. You could be have your eyes closed and spin around and go into a crowd of people and you could pick them out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So.
And just so you're used to the same commands and just the way they tell you things, and you just know what to do.
It's like, it's the same thing for us. We got like we have our commands and stuff that we use, right? So and it reminds you and you hear it and it just.
You just automatic, yeah.
You see it. Like we know, like our don't follow. I see you like click into that stuff right away. So I think that's a huge part of mental prep is just drill. Those are like all like basically they're focus anchors that you use. You hear like for us like a clap on 3, 1, 2, 3, boom, that kind of stuff. That's a focus anchor that we use for instruction. Like you've done my leadership program.
Yeah.
So those are all things that we're drilling into you guys from like day one in training. Yeah, well, just
bring you back.
Yeah, just get you back focused and centered. And it goes all the way up to competition. Because like before it's like, hey, sometimes like the team, hey man, let's clap on 3, 1, 2, 3, boom, we're all together, let's go, let's do this. Yeah. And it's gonna let you feel like, hey, it's like I'm back at training. I'm not at tournament, but it's like I'm training.
See, I feel like that's one of the best things you told me before going to the fights.
What?
It's just this training session.
Yeah.
Just go in there and just do your thing. Yeah.
That's something that kind of some of that came from Kru Jonathan. He's like, hey, it's just big sparring. That's it. That's what he'd say. And it's like, oh yeah, pro fight. Damn it, you didn't know that.
It definitely gives you a better way of looking at it. So.
Yeah, you're less nervous. You're like, hey, you know what? I'm here. I gotta do it.
Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen.
Exactly. I'm not planning on getting kneed in the face or anything like that. So, same thing with my other coach that I had too. He's just like, hey man, like you go out there, just trust in your training. Like you've been training like so long, X amount of times. Hey, time to test your theory and see what works. So I think that's huge for people to kind of just accept that kind of feeling and stuff too. But I mean, so you said that you do mental prep almost every night.
I try.
You
just
try?
Visualization of
Flexible
like running
stuff,
through
or?
it. Yeah, just more like this. I haven't really as much for this Muay Thai tournament because I don't know who I'm fighting. It's just more MMA. I knew who I was fighting and knew like just going out there what I want to do and just like walking through different situations.
Well, I'll tell you the first thing that we should think about visualizing is just think about taking it one fight at a time. First thing, just first fight done. Go in there, get first fight done, and raise out of there, and relax. That should be the first thing I should be visualizing. So, first fight, take it one fight done. Okay, second fight. All right, third fight. All right, fourth fight. All right, fifth fight. Like go through them each one. Imagine how you may or may not feel at those times, and that way when you're coming through those moments, you're able to come back to that like mental anchor that you create for yourself, and go back to it. Like same thing like when we're sparring, like when we're this weekend we're doing our competition sparring. Like I'm gonna tell you guys, hey man, this is your 4th fight, you're hurt, okay? And you have to try, like you can't knock the guy out. So how do you score? You know, what can you do?
Yeah.
So give you guys a little bit like more scenarios to work on, because it's important to catch yourself in those moments and learn how to overcome them.
Everything's not gonna come out exactly how you picture.
No.
I think it's gonna happen.
It's like twice, and you have to go back and go out there.
You gotta win.
Yeah, hey, but at that point you gotta try to knock the guy down, and try to get a knockdown, and you can't knock him out with hands, headshots. So legs or body it is.
Is it a 10-8 round knockdown?
You know what? That's a great question. If it's gonna be a 10-8 round, I don't know if they switched the IFMA scoring. I don't think they did. So I might read through the rules again. Because in IFMA, it's not automatic 10-8 round. It's only a 10-8 round. If I knock you down, and I completely dominate you that whole fight, that whole round. If I completely dominate you the whole round, and I got knocked down on you, then it's 10-8. Okay. But if I'm winning, dominating you, you knock me down, okay, it's still lucky at the end of the round. It's still 10-9, and you have 9. Just because you got lucky doesn't mean I should have lost all that work. Which like
that makes a little more sense.
It does, but I think things can get a little convoluted with some of it, and they're having some of the issues with IFMA stuff too. Where like we saw us at the tournament, and I was talking to some of the Team USA coaches. I saw them talking about it a little bit, and it's becoming a little bit convoluted, like I thought it was going to. But a lot of these ring officials, because they had to make so many new ring officials, I think a lot of them are just new.
I know, it's fine.
And they're coming from different backgrounds.
Oh, just boxing, pure boxing.
Or their country scores differently. You know, like
Okay.
you come from the U.S., they're going to be scored differently. So unless they do a specific clinic on that, and they get practice scoring that specific style in that specific way, it's going to be hard to transition twice a year, 3 times a year. So they're starting to do more of like these, they call them like super series, where it's like, you know, amateur style, all shin guards, headgear, elbow pads, not always chest guards. More like fight night style events, but like with the IFMA rule set.
Is any amateur no shin guards?
Yeah, not in the tournament.
Okay.
Not in the tournament.
Like 10 plus.
Yeah, for
Like just.
so anybody in California, after 3 fights, after 3 matches, you can fight without shin pads. Muay Thai. Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, the fight nights, absolutely. I think you should look at doing one.
Yeah, definitely.
It'd be fun. Go to Arizona too. Arizona, you can do it.
They're gonna be definitely really fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's nice to be able to go change it up, you know. And it's a lot. It's funny. They have a little caution pads, but those don't do. You know, this. They don't do anything.
Yeah.
It gives people false self-confidence. It's like false self-confidence.
Oh, that leg kick's still gonna hurt.
Oh yeah. Like I was telling you, my friend Kru Mark up in Seattle. What's up, Kru Mark? If you're listening, yo. He, you know, man, he snapped his shin, tibia fracture. He's southpaw. Threw inside kick.
Cross-check.
The guy cross-checked it. I saw him kind of like waver. He came down and trained with me before. So I'm judging his fight. And, you know, I remember just thinking for a second, like, I hope he changes it up like we were working on. But I just kept watching. He started changing it up. Cool. But the other guy was getting the best of him. You know, I think he ended up losing that first round. I can't remember off the top of my head. But then, you know, he came out and threw a kick again. And the guy cross-checked and he stepped back. And I remember seeing his leg fold. I'm like, oh! And the EMT's next to me, and then they're both looking at each other like, I think that guy's leg just broke. I'm like, yeah, that's your job, man. Get in there. Like, what do we do? Like freaking out. They're grabbing like the gurney and stuff. I'm like, oh, like you guys obviously didn't expect that because they're wearing shin guards, but yeah, that was pretty crazy. He ended up getting like steel rods in his shins and stuff.
Did he still fight now?
No, he's 45.
Oh.
He did that. He was doing that competition to show his students that you can still do it. There's no excuse.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I mean, that's a.
Yeah, and he went there and did it, and he fought like a 22-year-old kid, man. It's funny. He's all sitting there like he's totally fine. Oh man, I'm sorry. Like, put his glove up and touched him. Like, oh, Mark. And Ryan was actually cornering him for that.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was an experience. I was definitely worried about him, but I'm sure his wife was pissed.
Yeah, definitely.
He was just doing it.
Why even do it? Yeah.
Yeah, like why did you do that? And they're having a baby and stuff too. But you know, that kind of goes over everything I want to talk about today, Jeremy. Thanks for sticking around today after training, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, best of luck on the rest of training for the tournament. And you're more welcome on this anytime.
All right, Sweet.
Yeah, if you're like, hey, Kru, I want to talk about this. Hey, let's talk about it. Especially like upcoming competitions. I think a lot of people, they don't get to meet you guys because maybe they're training at opposite times or they're like coming and going. It's a good way for everybody to catch up.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. You gonna try to be there November 23rd for the one-day sale?
Of course.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Good. Gotta come, man. All right. Definitely come for the one-day sale. Mr. Montijo, you heard it here. He's gonna be there. Also, just so everybody knows, this Saturday too, we have a community cleanup event. We're after team training. If you want to join too, you're more welcome. It starts at 2. 11:45. Okay. Punk, you better be there.
No, 100%.
Okay.
I didn't know if it was Friday or I was gonna look at the paper.
It's on Saturday. Okay, Saturday 11:45. But afterwards, they're having there's like a community midtown cleanup. If you want to join in, I think it'd be great for you and all the athletes to go out there and get involved in the community. That way, people know who you are. So they see you smashing people, kicking them. You know that, like you. We've talked about this. Like, you know, you're like the most humble guy, and that's what I like about you. Like not a lot of other like MMA competitors have like a really big ego. Oh, I'm this. I'm gonna do this, and I've seen you just be very mellow and very professional. So. Yeah, check that out too, guys. If you're around 2 p.m. on November 16th, you can meet here at the Academy. They're meeting up on Catalina in Maine. Midtown cleanup with Christine Burke. She ran Caffeine Cafe, the vegan cafe that was over there.
Okay.
They closed down, but she owns the building, so she still does community stuff too. Definitely encourage everybody to come out and support. But thank you, Jeremy. Let's have a good night, sir.
Yeah, you too.
All right, yeah, get home safe.